Hey everybody, welcome to Book Talks with Miss Thomas. I'm Miss Thomas and this is Truffles. Say hi, Truffles. She's not feeling very social right now. But anyway, it's been a hot minute since I have filmed and I've been really busy. I might do a life update video either at the end or in another video. But anyway, I wanted to say thank you to Veronica, who sent me a comment and said, hey, it's been a while. How are you doing? And I thought, you know what? I should get back to filming. So thank you, Veronica, for that encouragement, because I was beginning to feel like, well, is anybody even listening? Should I be, bothering? And I'm glad people are out there talking about good books and interested in what other people are reading. That's the whole point, I think, of BookTube, and that's what makes BookTube special to me. So let me tell you about two books that I read for Christmas. I know Christmas is a little bit past, but it's still part of the Christmas season. So let me spread a little Christmas cheer and talk about Christmas books. Although the first one that I'm going to tell you about, I DNF'd. So, and it's not a Christmas cheer book, but it took place during Christmas and I thought it would be a heartwarming Christmas book. I don't know what I was thinking. So I read a book called The Drowning Kind. I'll put that here. And I loved that book. And I reviewed that book on my channel. I'll post the review somewhere in the comments. Really enjoyed that book. And it was a bit sort of supernatural-ish. So I should have known better, but I saw this book called My Darling Girl by the same author. And look at that, even the covers are very similar. So I thought, yay, I loved the other book. I'll like this book too. I should have read about the book before I started reading it because it was not a lovely book. Okay, so My Darling Girl, it does take place in Christmas, the Christmas season. Some of the book does anyway, and that's what got my attention, that and the author. But it begins with this scene in the narrator's childhood where she is woken up in the middle of the night by her mother, and her mother's obviously drunk. And there's this kind of creepy, upsetting feeling in the, prologue. You don't quite know what happens. You just know that she was traumatized as a child by her drunken mother. Fast forward to the Christmas season, and she's got this wonderful husband who's all about the Christmas cheer and Christmas jolly and really into decorating the tree for Christmas. And I thought, okay, this is going to be good. And she's got, I believe it was one child. I DNF'd it a while ago, but there was at least one little kid in the book. And she has this, no, there were two kids. I think there was a little girl and like sort of a disgruntled, angry, moody teenage girl, as I recall. But anyway, she is trying to get in the Christmas spirit, but she doesn't like Christmas for some reason. When her mother, who is dying, reaches out and wants to come stay with her. That's like her dying wish, to die in her daughter's home. And her daughter is grappling with, do I really want to have this woman in my house? She was a terrible parent. I had a terrible childhood. Do I even want her around my kids? But with her husband's encouragement, she decides to let this woman come live in her house, this mother. And I thought it would be all about like mother and daughter forgiving each other. I feel like a moron. This book was not about mother-daughter forgiveness or anything. And honestly, if I had read the reviews, which I went into it totally blind. I didn't read any reviews. I usually don't. I usually like to decide for myself. But after DNFing the book, I started to look into it. Yeah, so after reading reviews, the New York Times review, it says, right here, I have it on my computer, psychological thriller about a woman who takes in her abusive alcoholic mother and begins to suspect demonic possession is haunting her family. I wish I'd known that. Going into the book, I wouldn't have bothered. So I didn't get too far into the book. I read some of it, and I will tell you, the last straw for me was when she has this thing with her little daughter is screaming, and she goes in the daughter's room, and there's this rat infestation. There are rats all over the little girl's bedroom. And that was it. I don't know if any of you watched Ratatouille, but I saw Ratatouille with a really good friend of mine years ago in the movie theater, and both of us were like, okay, We know those were cartoon rats. Still, the thought of rats in a restaurant, ew, no thank you. And it was the same with the book. It was like Truffles, obviously. You don't like rats either, do you, huh? So she's thinking, hey, they might be yummy. But the thought of like all these rats in this woman's house, I was like, we're done. So I DNF'd the book at that point. I was looking for a heartwarming, festive book, and that just wasn't it. So I turned to my Donna Andrews books when in doubt. You know, I like the Meg Lanslow mysteries. And I got one of her mysteries, Dashing Through the Snowbirds. I think that's what it was called. Dashing Through the Snowbirds. And it was really cute. And I liked that one. You can't go wrong with Meg Lanslow mysteries. There's just a very endearing cast of characters, series of books. If you like cozy mysteries and you like just nothing too alarming or upsetting, but still a mystery, those books are for you. And I just turn to them when I'm desperate for something fun and light and engaging. So in Dashing Through the Snowbirds, Meg is hosting a group of computer programmers for her brother's company. And they're staying with her in her house. And she has this beautiful festive house and this crazy cast of family members. You know, her mother just decorates to, you know, extreme in this house. And Meg and her mother have these little things about, you know, too much decoration, you know, kick back on the decoration. And the mother's just very funny about getting her own way. And the dad's kind of eccentric and he has this Christmas surprise planned for her. And so while Meg is trying to juggle the usual characters in her book series, there is this group of computer programmers who are staying with her, and they are involved in some sort of computer task for a company associated with her brother. And they're, for the most part, lovely people, except there's this one really nasty guy, and he's in charge, I guess, of the group, and he's just awful. I mean, for example, there's a scene where Meg is making sandwiches for all the other people. They're going to go out on a birding adventure. They like bird watching. And the owner guy, or president or whatever he is, he goes through all the lunches and picks and chooses the foods that he wants and then just shoves them back. Like, so the other people get these, you know, half-eaten or torn apart lunches. It's just ridiculous. And he's just a very rude, pugnacious guy. And of course, he's the one that ends up murdered in the book. And so Meg is trying to solve the case of who murdered this guest in her home around Christmas time. But it's very lighthearted and fun. And I just really enjoy that particular series. The author is Donna Andrews. And if you're looking for a light, fun mystery, she writes a lot of mysteries and many of them are Christmas. They take place at Christmas time, but not all of them. And I just really love those particular books. So that was a fun way to do some reading for Christmas. So I hope all is well with you. And I have more to come. I can do a life update video. I can do some teacher videos. I've gone back into the classroom, which is one reason, well, the main reason why I haven't been on YouTube as much, because I've been very busy. I've gone from being a case manager to a classroom teacher. And so I've been really busy with that, but I'm teaching wonderful books. And if you know me at all, you know I really get into Frankenstein, and I just finished Frankenstein. So that has consumed much of my attention. I'll give you an update on that later. I hope you're out there and you're reading and you have a wonderful, happy new year. In all fairness, though, I do need to say, if you like horror books, My Darling Girl was nominated as one of the best horror books of 2023 by someone or other. I'm not a horror reader, so I don't know. But if you like that, it was recommended, and I loved her other books. So I don't want to be too hard on the author of My Darling Girl.